get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you. Choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
So
We
there's
love
that.
we love our Bruce. Yes, we do. Or Bryce. Hey, Grandma.
Yeah.
Are you on my main channel? Because I'm looking at my. Am I on the right channel?
Oh, I'm on the wrong channel.
That's what I thought.
Chill
not-
just a minute.
I don't see
IBRB.
I don't see your comments.
No, I just saw your thing and I clicked the wrong one.
Yeah, it happens. I've done it.
Okay, now I'm in the right one.
Okay, bitch. All right. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, people. All right. What do you guys think of my background here? Isn't that relaxing?
I really like it.
I just wanted to show it. It's
Yeah, I
calming.
really like it. It's like a
'Cause-
DNA spiral
Yeah.
and it's growing
Right.
and I like it.
DNA. That's
Yeah.
DNA, people. DNA. All right. So we want to go through, me and Grandma, the emails between the feds and Norfolk DA. I don't know, nobody has seen these documents. I haven't. So we're going to go through those and maybe a couple other things. There's a funny video. Turtle Boy ran into Caitlin Albert's boyfriend. They had a confrontation. I know it's all over the internet, but it's funny. And then I know I can't think right now. Oh, Turtle Boy got kicked out of the courtroom. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
You ready, Grandma?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to pull up the document so people can see them on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you want to do this? Do you want to us to switch off?
However you'd like.
Okay, let me look at mine.
Now,
Bring yours up, and I'll just put this on the screen so people can see it.
well, then I better look at your screen instead of mine.
No, look at yours because you got the documents too.
Well,
Okay.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'll just make my screen, your screen bigger on my screen. Okay.
Whoa, did you see
What?
that?
Girl, what did you do? Made it all big.
I don't know. That was weird.
I know. You
Okay,
frightened me.
um,
Okay, so this is from Joshua Levy. He was the acting U.S. attorney for the District of Massachusetts.
Okay.
And it
this
is
was
going, what?
Sorry, I was just going to give the date. This was documented January 12th or post dated 2024. Okay.
And this is via email and overnight delivery to Beverly, Judge Beverly.
Oh, Aunt Bev.
Aunt Bev, God, drives me crazy. Dear Justice Canone, is that how it's pronounced, Canone? That was a
Okay.
question. Was that a question, Canone?
So we
With
can
respect,
just what?
I was wondering if you pronounce her Beverly's last name is Canone,
Canon? Canon.
because it looks like
Canone?
Cannon with an E.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Is Canone?
I don't know. Canon?
Whatever. With respect to the,
Okay.
we'll call her Auntie Bev. With
Yes,
respect to the above captions matter, we received notice via letter dated January 9th, 24, from counsel for the defendant regarding the Commonwealth's motion for protective order, blah, 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 with associated 6 attachments. We additionally received copies of the motion, the defendant's opposition, and related filings, including copies of the 8 letters at issue. 8 letters. We are aware of the upcoming hearing scheduled January 18th. We appreciate the opportunity to be heard on this issue. Having reviewed all the materials above, the Department of Justice and U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts do not object to the public disclosure of the correspondence at issue in the pending motion.
Who is that? Oh, that Joshua.
Yeah, that's just his signature. Okay. Now this is Norfolk District Attorney to the Department or the Office of Professional Responsibility in the Department of Justice in D.C. regarding the investigation by the Office of United States Attorney for District of Massachusetts. Dear Sir or Madam, write to formally request that an ongoing investigation being conducted by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts be examined by the Office of Professional Responsibility, and should the investigation continue, that it be transferred to another office without history of conflict, bias, and abuse of prosecutorial discretion. Line below. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office has undertaken an extensive investigation into the facts and circumstances of the death of John O'Keefe in Canton, Mass. On January 29th, 2022. The facts and evidence gathered, including more than 40 individuals testifying before the Norfolk County Grand Jury, led to the second-degree murder indictment of Karen Reed. Reed was the operator of the vehicle that the evidence demonstrates struck her boyfriend, Boston Police Officer John O'Keefe. O'Keefe was then left to die in the snow on the side of Fairview Road, Canton, during the evening of January 29th, 2022. The case has been systematically making its way through Norfolk Superior Court, with ongoing discovery still active and open, including motions under advisement and motions not yet heard. This already sounds crappy.
Yep.
The defendant, through counsel, has been raising specious issues of a third-party culprit and complaints of witness and police misconduct as they attempt to confuse by offering not different interpretations of Commonwealth statements, evidence, and positions, but inventing them out of whole cloth. Ooh. No actual substantial evidence supporting police misconduct. See, how can they say no actual substantiated evidence supporting police misconduct? Oh, how can they say that? Or any federal violations have been ID'd by the defendant.
Yeah,
the
this
DA's
is the DA saying that.
It's such crap.
Yep.
Or the Massachusetts Superior Court during the ongoing discovery process.
Okay. Do we get the exhibits here? I don't know, because I haven't
think
looked
so.
at this yet. Have you, Grandma?
Approximately 3 weeks ago, blah, blah, blah. Grand jury notified Norfolk DA that they were contacted by FBI and subsequently received subpoenas to appear before a federal grand jury. Shortly after those notifications to the Norfolk DA's office, Joshua Levy, the first assistant in the Boston office of the U.S. Attorney's Office, contacted Norfolk first assistant district attorney Anne Beland to suggest that they were conducting an investigation that may involve a number of witnesses in the Commonwealth versus Reed murder case. At that time, Attorney Beland expressed some concerns about both the jurisdiction and the timing of any actions being taken by the U.S. State's Attorney Office, as they could imprudently impact the ongoing murder prosecution of Karen Lee. Yeah, gee, sorry. Based on the collective experience of several of my colleague, Mass DA, and former federal prosecutor, it appears to be unprecedented for the federal government to step into the middle of an ongoing state murder prosecution, prompted only by inflammatory and ethically dubious defense strategy. Really?
Okay.
In the conversation with First Assistant, where did it go?
Sorry.
North District Attorney Lynn Beland, Assistant U.S. Attorney Joshua Levy declined to identify what jurisdiction the federal government had in this murder case, in what appears to be a highly unusual and possibly abusive exercise of power.
Woo.
Attorney Levy indicated that the U.S. Attorney's Office was still proceeding ahead with an investigation that would involve individuals who are active participants in events and or witnesses in the state case. Oh, they don't like this. Attorney Beland reminded Joshua Levy that any statements and testimony taken in such an investigation that pertain to any of the witnesses in the ongoing state murder trial may create an ongoing obligation for state prosecutors to provide the defense with access to all information and statements gathered or recorded as a result of the federal investigation. Well, duh. The U.S. Attorney's Office offered the opinion that you can't turn over information that you don't have.
Hi, Mark. Our Mark's here.
Hi, Mark. Happy Saturday.
This is crazy. Want to know why? The feds don't get involved like this unless they know their shit, and there's something wrong here. Okay,
so this position leaves state authorities potentially unable to meet the constitutional mandate expressed in Brady versus Maryland and corresponding Massachusetts state rules. Oh, they don't like that. Oh. Since that call concluded, we have confirmed that witnesses have testified before the grand jury.
And they lied.
Rule 6, yes, they did, of the federal rules of criminal procedure allows that under certain compelling circumstances, information may be provided to all counsel, including those not before the federal grand jury. Recent court filings and statements by defense counsel in the Reed matter suggest that defense attorneys are the source of the initial complaint, and the allegations prompting this action by the U.S. Attorney's Office, Reed's defense counsel's recent court filings raise out of thin air and apparently purposeful misstatement of fact, unsupportive claims of a cover-up by investigators and witnesses, including municipal, state, and federal law enforcement. As shown in attached documents, many or all of these unsupported allegations can be vetted and reviewed by the judges of the Massachusetts Superior Court during the discovery and motions sessions or available appellate review. I am unaware and strongly doubt that any prosecutor or state police misconduct in Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. The only allegations to that effect have been in unsupported news claims or defense filings that had not even been answered at the time Levy confirmed the existence of a federal grand jury. It raises the question why the apparatus of the DOJ would intervene. Even such issues are still being assessed by a justice of the Massachusetts Superior Court without some additional impetus on the part of U.S. Attorney's Office. Without dismissing the important role of the DOJ in investigating allegations of police misconduct and federal violations, we bring to your attention what appears to be additional concerns concerning motive conflict or appearance of conflict and potential bias by the office of the U.S. Attorney, which may explain these unprecedented proceedings.
Should we take a break and talk? Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, because there's a lot I'm still learning about the case. But what's crazy and scary, like we talked about this, they went to the grand jury, they lied, okay, on the stand. Just look at that. You can get indicted off of lies for murder.
This part here is just more, more of the legal speak about, how the question came up and how this came about, that the U.S. attorneys and whatnot are overseeing this.
Yeah.
It's just more about, okay, the question about this and that.
I'm trying to find a place to put us, so we're going back here again. Here, do you got it pulled up on your end?
Well, I can, but I just have yours maximized, but I can pull mine up.
I mean, can you see this?
Oh yeah, obviously
you
I'm reading it.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to find where you're at. Oh, okay, there we are.
See,
yeah, I have it on mine, but
if she's found not guilty, I hope she sues the hell out of them.
Oh, she is.
Yep,
it's crazy. Sure.
There's so much bias, even with that judge. Okay, where are we?
I predicate the following information with the fact that it has been the policy of the Norfolk District Attorney's Office during my 12-year tenure as DA to maintain a close working relationship with the U.S. Attorney. Notable in that relationship was the cooperation of Norfolk DA's office in the prosecution of a 35-year-old murder case that was committed in Sharon, Mass., which involved the Whitey Bulger gang. We like Whitey, though. But he was a liar. The Norfolk DA's office had statutory jurisdiction to pursue the case, but in the interest of cooperation, acceded to the request of the U.S. Attorney at the time to allow federal prosecutors to proceed with the case. As a result of that agreement, the Norfolk DA's office and Massachusetts police assigned to the Norfolk District Attorney's Office worked closely with the U.S. Attorney's Office on the case. During this period, Dustin Chow, without nexus to that prosecution, asked a Massachusetts state police detective involved in the matter if he had any kind of damaging information on the DA, first assistant, or the Norfolk DA's office. So this question was not without context. Laura Chow, Dustin's wife, had been an employee of Norfolk DA. This is about another case that was an example. That's what this is about. So let's see. Okay. So I began composing this letter well before May 17th, 2023 publication of the DOJ Office of Inspector General, which has apparently prompted the resignation of the current U.S. Attorney of the District of Massachusetts. They resigned. My attention is drawn to the several portions of Section 2, particularly as they pertain to the weaponization of the U.S. Attorney's Office for personal, political, and retributive purposes.
So this talks case law, right?
Yeah. That's about the case law and how that worked out in that other case. And they're trying to say that weaponizing the U.S. Attorney's Office to conduct an unprecedented intervention into an open state murder case appears to raise the same concerns outlined in the DOJ's report. So I submit that the pattern of using USAO for personal purposes is established, coupled with the obvious conflict of AUSA Chow make it impossible to conclude that a fair evaluation of the unprecedented Reed intervention can be conducted by any party in the Massachusetts office. It is impossible to determine how far the tentacles of bias have spread out from the chief of the relevant unit and the titular head of the office. I formally request that an impartial federal official unaffiliated with the U.S. Attorney's Office for Massachusetts, oh God, review and investigate the steps and actions that are being taken by current members of the Massachusetts office, exploring this apparent bias and whether it has predisposed them to abuse their prosecutorial discretion on this matter. In the unlikely case that an impartial review finds that a DOJ investigation into the Karen Reed matter is appropriate, even before the issues at hand have been vetted by the Norfolk Superior Court judge hearing the case, I request that the investigation be reassigned from parties with clearly stated and documented bias against member of the Norfolk District Attorney's Office to attorneys entirely outside the office of the U.S. Attorney for Massachusetts.
Wow.
So he's just saying this is a conflict of interest, and we want somebody else to look at this now. And that was January, correct? So
Yep.
Our next document is June 1st of 2023. So this is prior then. These are the documents which he was talking about in that letter. See? The stuff I just read, this is the backup. This is the documentation of that. This is not but this is their argument, that this is these are bad claims from the defense and the jurisdiction, blah, blah. They don't have a right to it and blah, 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 blah. So this one says, with regard to your request that another office be assigned to the pending grand jury investigation, a matter outside of OPR's jurisdiction, OPR forwarded your complaint to the Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys for whatever action it deems appropriate. Further inquiry, blah, 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 goes to J. Macklin at U.S. DOJ. Okay, so we heard your crap, is what they said. We heard you, and we sent it on to somebody who's really going to look into it. And this one is...
What is this? Well, this is time. Get the limited disclosure. Oh, did you read this already? This.
Yeah. Let me go back to your screen. Hang on, because I'm looking at the other one.
Where
now.
are we? Oh,
we are.
Case law.
Yeah, past that. Skip it. Skip it.
Okay.
Skip it until you get the no, I just read that one. Right there. I think. What date is that?
This one?
What date is that? Oh, yours are in different order. Yours are in different order than mine are. All right, let me look at yours. Let me look at yours. Hang on. Thank you for your letter dated May 3rd, 2023. My apologies for the delay in responding, but I've been tied up with transition issues. We understand your office has important discovery obligations in any criminal prosecution. At this juncture, we have no issue with you advising defense counsel about the contact that we have had with your offices and the information that we have shared if you determine such a disclosure is warranted. We are mindful of the important concerns raised in your letters and will be back in touch with you as circumstances dictate.
Okay.
And that's from Levy.
Yep.
And then we go to October. This is to follow up on your previous communication dated May 9th and your June 12th response. On September 15th, 2023, Norfolk Court set a trial date of March 12th for Karen Reed on the indictments for second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence and leaving the scene of personal injury and death.
Wow.
Yeah. Under the Massachusetts Rules of Criminal Procedure, mandatory discovery includes items and information in the Commonwealth's possession. That's the state's possession.
Okay.
So the prosecution has to hand that over to the defendant, to the defense, so they can. Anyway, okay. Custody or control relevant to the case, including statements by the defendant, Karen Reed, statements of persons who testified before a grand jury and grand jury minutes, facts of an exculpatory matter, material and relevant police reports, photographs, tangible objects, reports of physical examinations of any person, and scientific tests and experiments, and statements of persons intended to be called as witnesses, and disclosure of promises, rewards, or inducements made to witnesses to the party intends to present at trial. So blah, blah, blah. They are known to exist, but are not within its care, custody, or control, and to provide all information known as to the item's location and the identity of the persons possessing that item. That's just saying you have to turn over the evidence to the other side too.
Yeah.
Yeah, hand over all the materials.
Same thing.
Additionally, yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
This is November. Who is that?
This is
Morrissey. Okay. It's the DA.
Yeah, this is to the FBI.
God, this is
It
crazy.
was a pleasure to meet you at the State House for the Governor's press conference on hate crime enforcement. I wanted to again extend my welcome and best wishes to you in your role as Boston's special agent in charge, and look forward to working with you in the future. I also wanted to renew this office's offer for your agents to speak to the state police who are involved in the John O'Keefe Canton murder investigation. My first assistant district attorney also mentioned our willingness to talk to the FBI to the acting U.S. attorney in a recent phone conversation. Okay, so
That took forever.
that's just Morrissey telling the FBI, we'll be glad to work with you, sir.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because he's new in his position. So this is the
Assistant DA.
yeah, but this is regarding the June 1st letter from OPR about the review of the conflict of interest, okay? And they sent this to this guy, Macklin. So this is Lynn Beland, the first assistant district attorney, talking to him, Macklin. This letter is to inquire about the status of a request for a transfer of investigation due to a conflict of interest. On May 18th, 23, the Office of Norfolk DA sent to the Department of Justice Office of Professional Responsibility, the OPR, a letter raising concerns as to a potential investigation by the U.S. Attorney Office. Well, who is blowing my fucking phone up?
It's not me.
I'm sorry. Involving witnesses
It's somebody
related
doing
to
on
the pending
purpose.
case.
You know you're lying.
Probably. Shit happens.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is about the criminal case in the death of John O'Keefe in Canton, Massachusetts, January 9th, 2022. This office has subsequently received a June 1st letter from Jeffrey Ragsdale, counsel for the OPR, reflecting to the extent that the letter indicated that the pending grand jury investigation should be reassigned. The appropriate office to address that request was the Executive Office for the United States Attorneys. This is to inquire about the status of this request and to provide contact information for any further information you may require. If you have any questions, blah, blah, blah. First Assistant District Attorney.
Okay. Who's this from?
So she's saying, what's up? And then this is an answer back from him back to Beland. This responds to your letter concerning your putative request for a recusal on the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts from the pending state matter against Karen Reed. As you indicate, Department of Justice, OPR, informed you that they had referred your letter to my office for whatever action I deem appropriate. Consistent with the terms of the referral from OPR, I contacted Acting U.S. Attorney Joshua Levy. Based on my understanding from that discussion with USA Levy, this office has a very different opinion of the circumstances in this case than as presented in Mr. Morrissey's letter. His office has not reached any official determination whether prosecution is warranted, but they believe it is essential to continue their investigation, given the information of which they are aware. At this time, we see no basis for a recusal in this investigation. Neener. So they're like, no, you're not going to have somebody else in there.
Okay, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
They're really pushing to not have them there. Do this.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. Too bad, so sad.
Well, that's right. Here, let me escape out of there.
Okay, we're going to watch this because I think it's funny. Let's watch something funny. This is, hold on. Turtle Boy.
Oh, no. Poor Turtle Boy.
Caitlin Albert's boyfriend, Tristan Morris, confrontation.
I mean, Kara Reed is completely innocent. You know that, though, right?
Why are you filming me now?
Well, I mean, you just said Kara Reed did it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were walking away and you had something
I
to
know,
say.
but you gotta fucking film me.
Well, I'm just curious. You just told me Kara Reed did it.
You gotta film me.
I mean, you just told me she did it, right? All I wanted to know was why did Caitlin Albert change her story from leaving at 12:15 to 1:45?
Nobody wants you to get the fuck out, man.
I'm just asking. I mean, you confronted me. You confronted me.
Here. I'm from here. You're not. I'm not. You can get the fuck out of here. And both.
I mean, was Caitlin in that?
Yeah. Why is he fucking recording me?
Was Caitlin in the house when they murdered John?
Stop. What the fuck are you doing?
Was Caitlin in the house when they murdered John?
Calling the cops.
All right, let's get him down here. Let's talk.
Such a fucking pussy. You really are.
How am I a pussy?
Why are you filming me, dude?
So I'm just curious. Why did she change her story? Why did Caitlin change her story from leaving from 12:15 to 1:45? I'm just curious. I mean, I was gonna walk away, and then you had to say the thing about Karen did it.
I asked you a question. That's all I asked.
No, but you walked
no
away.
Cameras.
And
I said no.
Well,
cameras.
then you had the smart.
Hey, I got a 5'2" man.
5'2". He's got jokes. He's got jokes. Why aren't you on the Canton? Why aren't you on the Canton PD list anymore? Nah. Probably just gonna stay anyway. But I'm just curious. Why'd you pick her up at 1:45?
Yeah, I'm at the beach.
And what'd she tell you? Why did you say Karen did it?
5'2".
Why are there dog bites on John? Do you know where Chloe is by any chance? Don't you live in Easton? I thought you lived in Easton. And don't you drive a car that's very similar to a Ford Edge that was seen parked outside 34 Fairview Road at 3 a.m. No?
Yeah.
No?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm just curious.
No, I don't. No.
You're really calling the police right now?
Yeah.
And telling them what?
They tell them there's a small, strange man harassing me.
I mean, I'm just asking you questions. You came up to me, dude.
Yeah,
I didn't even recognize you. You had to tell me who you were. I didn't even recognize you. You were Tristan Morris.
I told you to put the cameras away.
And I said no.
I came up to you. I said no cameras.
And then I agreed to it. But then you said the smart aleck comment when you walked away about.
Make a smart fucking.
You said Karen Reed did. I didn't say anything. I just asked you a question.
Maggot.
What'd you say?
You're a fucking maggot. You're a maggot.
Not really. I mean, but I mean, I'm just curious.
You're a maggot.
How am I a maggot?
You're a fucking maggot.
How so?
Like you don't punch your fucking head in the front.
Really? Like you guys did to John? You guys like punching people. I know you like punching people.
Get the fuck away from me.
I mean, are you gonna do what you guys did to John O'Keefe? How you murdered him?
Get the fuck away from me.
I mean, I'm just curious.
Get the fuck away from me.
Are you gonna punch me? You said you're gonna punch me.
Yeah.
I'm just curious why. Why do you guys always resort to punching? Why does everything have to be so confrontational with the McAlberts? Now, you want to punch me? You can punch me.
Why would I do that?
I mean, you're on the phone talking to the police and you're threatening to punch me. I'm a rat? Yeah, you guys don't like it when people rat, right? When people tell the truth? That's what you call people who tell the cops the truth, right?
Rat.
I'm a rat. That's what you guys call people who tell the cops the truth, right? A rat?
The fuck out of here.
But seriously, I mean, you came up to me and wanted to talk to me. So
yeah, I said off camera.
And I agreed, and I was respectful to you. And then you walk away and you go, Karen Reed, and then you go, Karen Reed did it, by the way. Karen Reed didn't do it. Karen Reed's a completely innocent woman.
With the camera on.
I'm not tough at all. I'm just a reporter asking questions.
I'm
just a reporter asking questions.
You're a fucking maggot.
I mean, so why doesn't John have any injuries below his nose? And why did Caitlin tell police she left at 12:15 if she really left at 1:45? Why did she do that? I don't get it.
Shut the camera off.
I mean, are you protecting Brian? Who did it? Who killed John?
All right, dude. Come on.
You know. Come on. I know you know. I know you know.
A little bit.
You don't think John O'Keefe's family deserves
Nobody
justice?
wants you over here, dude.
I mean, I want to know. Do you think John O'Keefe's family deserves
Nobody
justice?
wants you over here. Get the fuck out of
Do
here.
you think John O'Keefe's family deserves justice? Yes or no? Do they?
Yeah.
Do you think Karen Reese should go to jail for a crime that your girlfriend's family committed? I mean, were you in the house that night? Were you in the house that night when John was murdered? Because I'm just curious. You were with them at the waterfall bar.
You know what? This isn't the place to.
Thank you.
He started talking to me.
Thank you. Nobody wants you, man.
No, please stop.
Nobody wants you.
His family killed his girlfriend's family murdered Officer John O'Keefe, and I'm just wondering why. I mean, he came up to me. I didn't seek him out. I didn't even recognize him. But anyway, Tristan, we're gonna head out of here, buddy. Good luck with the police.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, pussy.
Okay. Real nice language. Real nice language.
Oh my God.
All right. See you later.
Sir, that's a little annoying.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding.
Nobody likes you, buddy.
See you later.
Yes.
Nice work.
All right.
Anyways, your shirt is fine.
That guy's such a dick.
I know. I don't mean to laugh, but
Well, he asked for it.
yeah, he came up to him. I
No.
mean,
Yeah, he came up to him and he said, "I'll talk to you." And then he did talk to him. And then as soon as he was going to walk away, he said, "Henry did it."
yep.
So he
Yeah.
turned on his camera, started filming. He's like, "Oh, no, we can't talk, and you're a jerk, and you're a maggot."
This is Caitlin Albert. And you're a big tough guy. Okay.
It's funny that everyone's calling him Mick Alberts now.
I know.
I
You got
find that
that-
funny
Yeah.
because they're a clan.
Okay, let's look at the latest. Because yesterday I had a really hard time focusing. Okay, let's see. What? Oh my God, look at all these ads popping up. Holy crap. You see anything you want to watch here? I cannot wait until Monday. Brian Albert is being questioned by the defense. That is going to be sweet. She got caught lying about phone calls with Proctor. Oh, we got to look into Proctor, by the way. I did have some documents on him. I cannot find them.
I know you were looking for those documents the other day, right?
Yes, I was so mad. No,
We had them.
I don't know how they got deleted.
And I'm sure you've looked in your download folder, right? I mean,
Oh my God, what's this? This woman right here? Canton cover up part 3. Woman sitting with O'Keefe's in court went to jail for a wrong way drunk driving. Collision that cost a motorcyclist his leg.
oh,
What?
that's terrible.
I've been seeing her. I was
Oh,
wondering.
yeah.
I'm like, I wonder who that woman is.
I don't know, but she drinks too much and drives.
I guess. Who's that?
Someone lost their leg.
Who is that? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, is she crying?
I don't know.
Who are these two? Well, we know that.
We'll go back to the article about the lady and get her name.
Well, I was scrolling down to see what her name was.
Jail Canton cover up part
Don't say.
349. Canton cover up part 349. Yeah, there's a lot of covering up going on there.
Who's this?
Oh, scroll up so I can see that
Hold
thing.
on, all these ads are
Ooh.
popping up. Oh my
Beth
gosh,
to who? Mary Beth to who?
who is that?
To John O'Keefe.
He was already gone then.
Yeah, it was a couple days after he's passed.
Oh, okay.
And it's just, it's kind of I'm so sorry you're gone. thing right after he passed. I love your family. That's just terrible.
Yeah.
I cannot stand that these people, seemingly anyway, stand up and cover for each other, even though they know someone innocent will spend time in jail. I can't. How do they live with themselves?
Okay, here we go. This happened March 23rd, 2010.
Oh, it was way long time ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they made it sound like it's recent.
Yeah, I can look her up though. I can look up. Oh, there. Okay. Oh, here she is. I bet we could find a
Oh, sorry.
Otis severing the driver's leg. Wow. Oh, here, looky.
Yeah.
There's no winners here. There's no, yay, she's getting put away. There's none. There's none.
What say you, Madam Foreperson, is Mary Beth Mazzoli, the defendant bar, guilty or not guilty on indictment number 8-805? Guilty. You upon your oath say that Mary Beth Mazzoli is guilty of the offenses charged. So say you, Madam Foreperson, yes or no? Yes. So say you all? Yes or no?
Yes. It's the hardest thing I'm ever gonna have to do. I had the opportunity to speak with Mary Beth, and if we could take that night back, I know she would. It was an accident, I feel a long probation, and if you do have, Mary Beth, an alcohol problem, that you do get the help you need. And I know you're sorry, I really do. I wish we could turn that night back, but we can't. I lost my leg, my family lost a lot, and I know your family, a good family, lost a lot too. And my kids also, I can't be bitter because what I do in my life is going to reflect on my 3 small children. So I have forgiveness for you. And I do hope the best for you. And I feel something we can do. And I hope in the future that we can get together and maybe talk to young kids about the evils of drunk driving. To show them, we can save one life. If something good can come out of this, it would be great.
Oh my God.
Her last drink was that night. That night. She's never had a drink since. She's involved in her sobriety. As you can see here, she and Mr. Cronin had
Don't feel sorry.
talked before, and she had expressed her sorrow, and she just did it again. She has no record. Again, she's lost her job. She's now a convicted felon. She's got to go to jail under the statute.
A 6-month minimum mandatory sentence is required. And the individual before me has no criminal history, and there's no reason to expect that she will reoffend. Indeed, that she will have to live with the consequences of her actions, I think should be enough to deter her from ever repeating what happened on August 23rd, 2008.
Wow.
You got off easy.
Well, it was an accident, obviously, but in that case, she paid her debt to society, right?
She was drinking.
She looks rough, though. That was in 2010.
Yeah.
That's 14 years ago. She looks pretty rough.
Yes, she does.
I hope she's still not drinking, but it looks like she is. But
I'm going to keep my comments to myself.
Can't hear you. What?
I'm going to keep my comments to myself. Yes.
I'm sorry. I hope I didn't offend you.
And you're right. They did have compassion. It was a mistake.
Well, I can have compassion for people, but at least, the victim's family hugged her and, gave her forgiveness.
Right.
Which is, that's a good thing. I mean, you got a bad situation. You don't have to make it worse. And if you can forgive, then you can move on. And hopefully that stuck with her and she will make the changes necessary not to let that happen again.
Let's hope so. All right, I want to watch this real quick because I think it's funny and sad too.
Okay, but I have a question.
Yeah,
Frizzoli, how is she connected to Karen Reed?
I don't
Just
know.
that she knew John O'Keefe.
They're not saying.
No, the email that you were just reading on the, the comments below that you were reading from the pictures about Frizzoli, the lady, those were to John O'Keefe right after he passed from Frizzoli. So she knew him. Are you following me?
Yeah, I'm looking. That ain't her. That's not the same lady.
Really? Because sure looked like it.
Hold on. I keep getting lost because these ads keep popping up. Oh my God. I want to find a ad blocker that works. That is her.
Yes, honey. She was friends with John O'Keefe and loved his family.
Interesting.
And she's sitting on Karen Reed's side, isn't she?
No.
Yes.
She's sitting next to the O'Keefes.
Well, okay.
She has been the whole time.
Okay.
I was wondering who she was.
Well, she's there you go.
I thought she was a grandma.
Ooh, burn.
Okay.
She's looking a little rough.
Turtle Boy gets kicked out of the courtroom. Let's check this out real quick. I want you to hear what his attorney says. They tell the jury to leave the courtroom. Just prior to this, though, there was a lady that called him over and whispered something in his ear, but I didn't know what was going on. Here, here we go. So now they're going to pan over to Turtle Boy. People are looking over there. See that lady? She's by John's sister-in-law. And of course, you got the news station. They're going to zoom in on him. See, there's Turtle Boy right here. I'm not going to explain things. I'm going to have the attorney explain things about what they did to him here. He got permission to be in this courtroom, and he got kicked out.
Probably asking him to leave.
There's Turtle Boy. There's Turtle Boy, guys. He is there. That was me yesterday. See, he knows something's up because he was looking over. Why is this blurry? Okay, it's fine here. I wonder what's going on there. Are they on break or what?
They're taking the jury out. so they can
No.
deal with him.
I was talking yesterday. I'm not talking right now.
Oh, I see.
When I was live yesterday. See, and then that lady talks to him. There we go. Yes, they're keeping an eye on Turtleblood. See it? Yeah, he's a YouTuber. He's the one that found all this corruption going on. That's why they don't like him. He's like an independent journalist. He's got a website. Here's a website. Hold on. Oh. Okay, ads, you're starting to piss me off now. I mean, if you want correct information, that is a place to go look. Okay, his attorney's in there now. Okay, there, they kicked him out. Okay, let me speed this up because they're just going to go on break here.
Excuse.
There you go.
Okay, so why don't council identify yourselves, please?
Sure. Adam Lally for the Commonwealth, Your Honor.
Sarah McLaughlin for the Commonwealth.
Right, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Timothy Bradel on behalf of non-party Aidan Carney, who for the record is present in the courtroom.
Does Mr. Carney want to sit with you?
I think he's okay right there.
Okay.
If that's all right, Your Honor.
All right. So Commonwealth, so I do want to say a question before we begin. Commonwealth, in your motion to exclude an individual charged with witness intimidation in connection with this case from the courtroom during the testimony of certain witnesses, before we begin, are you advancing the concerns of the DA's office or the concerns of the witnesses themselves, or both?
Both, Your Honor.
Okay,
Judge,
so
if I may, I'm sorry to jump in, but just if I may, I
Sure.
do have what I think is a pretty substantial procedural objection.
okay,
Maybe I'd ask that you sort of just make a quick bifurcation of the issues here, and we can address the procedural issue before we get into the substance of the motion.
sure, I'll hear you.
If we could. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Your Honor, so the record is clear, because we may need an appellate record in this case.
Okay.
But I was here in the Norfolk Superior Court today, completely unrelated to Mr. Carney, my client, as you know, in the other matters. And I was here today on the matter of Commonwealth versus Tylee Curry for a motion to suppress. And
Which is a case that I am in the middle of
Right.
that motion to suppress with you.
Exactly. And I actually figured that we wouldn't do the motion and get a date. But I was fully focused on that matter and had no notice whatsoever that the Commonwealth was in the Reed matter, was seeking to exclude my client as a journalist from this courtroom. The first thing is that, and I know the court has a job to do in terms of ruling on this motion, and that's fine. And I ask that the ruling be that it be denied on procedural grounds. The procedural grounds are, Judge, that there's been no service of process whatsoever on a case where the government is seeking to essentially trample all over my client's First Amendment rights as a journalist. On 15 minutes notice. You know, I know you gave me the thing 15 or 20 minutes ago.
And it's more than a half an hour, but I understand.
All right, well, you get the point. So, you know, this is not something that I can process and absorb and make any sort of cogent arguments on the merits of the motion on that time period. I'm sure that the court respects that. I'm trying to address it as best I can, but I think that the procedural issues here should control. And here's the procedural situation, Your Honor, that the government filed this 6-page motion there's a footnote 2 that refers to them serving this motion on May 8th to the Associated Press. Why they couldn't just pull up my email and serve me is an open question that I'd like an answer to in open court. So they can serve the AP 2 days ago, but they can wait and not even serve me with the motion when I get here to court today on a completely unrelated matter, I might add. So there's some funny business going on here. And, you know, there's been nothing but funny business from where I sit from the Commonwealth on Mr. Carney's matters. And here we go again. So I don't appreciate that from counsel, from the Norfolk County DA's office, number one. Number two, Your Honor, Mr. Carney has covered this case and written about 350 news articles on this case. He has developed evidentiary scoops on this case that have added to the quantum of evidence in the matter. He's never caused a problem. He wishes to be in the galley of journalists like everyone else and cover the case. There's never been a problem whatsoever. This is more personalized retaliation from the Norfolk County DA's office against Mr. Carney. Another point, Your Honor, is that this matter, as far as the Commonwealth is concerned, is race.
You caught that too, huh, Grandma? Let's look at that. This is done on Facebook.
I'm watching. You bet.
He giggles.
He's smirking like, yeah, right.
Look at it.
Of journalists like everyone else and cover the case. There's never been a problem whatsoever. This is more personalized retaliation from the Norfolk County DA's office against Mr. Carney. Another point, Your Honor, is that this matter, as far as the Commonwealth is concerned, is res judicata ×2. Judge Krupp in this very court addressed this exact issue about Mr. Carney covering this matter, being in the courtroom with witnesses that had a stay-away order. All the same people that the government is trying to have another bite at the apple with here. All these people, this was adjudicated fully with the Special Assistant DA before Judge Krupp, and Judge Krupp ruled against the Commonwealth. Judge Krupp said that Mr. Carney was able to be in the courthouse covering this case regardless of any of these witnesses in the stay-away order.
Right.
The stay-away order was exempted.
Did you watch those hearings? And
Some of it.
Yeah. Did you watch the one where the order of protection got changed? I mean, they don't want him anywhere around there. This is sad, ain't it?
Well, they don't like it that he's finding evidence and turning it over.
Well, that's what the news should, the investigator, you know, the investigator news channels or whatever.
Yeah, investigative reporting. Yeah. Yes.
And he's an independent journalist.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. They just don't like that. They think he's being a busybody and screwing up everything and taking up time. And it's like, oh, you don't like that? But the other judge already said he could stay.
Mr. Carney's presence in the courtroom, rather, was accepted from the stay-away order.
Okay.
So this is done. This has been adjudicated. It's been adjudicated again, Your Honor, by Judge Pomeroy across the street in the district court. One of these people associated with Mr. Carney's detractors, Ms. Gattani, has taken up with the Commonwealth and sought charges and sought a restraining order against my client. And Judge Pomeroy recently, as recently, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, we were across the street, Your Honor, seeking to vacate the order under the doctrine of unclean hands because this plaintiff keeps trying to contact my client while under a restraining order. Putting that aside, the ruling in that matter, Judge, was another ruling in support of Mr. Carney's First Amendment rights. It was another ruling that said Mr. Carney was not subject to the restraining order in any court of the Commonwealth. And the reason we brought that motion, Your Honor, was because these same witnesses that the government here is again trying to advocate for their own personal issues, those same witnesses somehow took up with this plaintiff across the street, Ms. Gattani, brought her to court here in prior Reed proceedings to kick out Mr. Carney, because at the time she had an operative order against him. And Mr. Carney, to his credit, got up and left and got out of here. And that situation was what we addressed across the street with Judge Pomerol. He agreed with us and said, you can go to court, you can cover this case. So number two, litigation number two, this has been established. Mr. Carney followed all proper channels. We worked with the SJC media office. He has a press pass. He's doing everything in accordance with all of the rules and regulations that are in place. He's been harassed, and we have it on video, by other so-called journalists on this case at the steps of the courthouse. And he just wants to be here. He doesn't want to be an issue in this case. He wants to sit here and cover the case. He's done his job. He wants to watch the trial unfold. And he has an absolute fundamental First Amendment right to do so within the confines of this courtroom and within the confines of time, place, and manner restrictions. He's followed everything, and he's here. We've gone through all of these hurdles, Your Honor, and Mr. Carney triumphed, as he should, because it's the First Amendment that needs to triumph here, not any particular person. And that's what he's doing. And there's absolutely no reason for the government to sneak behind my back to interfere with his First Amendment rights. It's outrageous. And on procedural grounds, I ask you to deny the motion for all of those reasons. And if the court has some hesitancy to do so with respect to these procedural issues, I ask that you set a date give me 7 days or so that I can properly respond to this motion on the merits of whatever's in these 6 pages of the motion that I haven't been able to look at. So thank you for hearing me, Your Honor.
All right.
Okay, let me tell you something. Isn't that dirty what the DA did? They served this document. What was it? The Boston Herald, the newspaper, and did not send it to his attorney. Come on now. Dirty.
They are.
Boy, I won't.
Well, see, they're just exposing themselves. The more they try to cover up, the more they expose themselves.
Oh, yes, they're bringing
That's why I think Karen's going to just be acquitted of this. I think Turtle Boy is probably going to win a lawsuit. I think Karen will win a lawsuit. I mean, they're nasty. They need to go away. Yeah. So this is all what has to happen for that to clean out that shit.
Andy, no, this sucks, but let's listen. I know they're making it all about Turtle Boy too. Come on, that's because the Alberts don't like him.
Sure. And you wanted a response to your question from Mr. Lally on why you were not served, but the Associated Press was served.
That's correct.
So if you talk about that in the procedural part of this, Mr. Lally.
Yes, Your Honor. Simply put, Mr. Bradel, neither Mr. Bradel nor Mr. Kearney are parties to the case. I can't presume that Mr. Bradel's representation on one criminal case is going to extend to a motion of which he would be at best a third party on a separate criminal case. We are required under the SJC rules to serve it upon the Associated Press, which we did.
So I think that's your record now, Mr. Bradel.
Thank you.
Okay, on the procedural issue. Okay. We have a jury out. I do want to address the merits of this as best we can. And Mr. Bradel, at the end of this hearing, whatever I end up doing, if you want to come back and readdress it when there's more time, depending on how I rule, I'll give you the opportunity to do so. But I have to get this trial moving at this point, one way or the other. So I'm going to hear the Commonwealth on their motion. Then I'll hear you, Mr. Bradel, to the extent that you can respond. Okay? All right. Mr. Lally, I'll hear you on your motion.
Your Honor, very shortly, very simply put, this is an instance in which the Commonwealth is not asking that Mr. Kearney not be allowed to cover the case or that he not be allowed to watch the trial. What we're requesting is a partial closure of one individual. And the legal standard for that is essentially a substantial reason. Substantial reason, Your Honor, being that Mr. Kearney has been indicted and has open cases for intimidating witnesses, specifically witnesses in this case. He has confirmed statements indicating publicly that his actions that he's taken in regard to those indictments were to prevent the case from ever going to trial and to intimidate those witnesses. Those witnesses will be called to testify in this case, and what the Commonwealth is simply requesting is that he be excluded physically from the courtroom, not excluded from watching the trial, not excluded from covering the trial, but excluded physically from the courtroom while those witnesses are testifying from the stand.
And the witnesses you told me have expressed concern. What do you say about that?
Yes, Your Honor. The witnesses have expressed concern. The Commonwealth is concerned as to his presence affecting their testimony or their ability to recall. And for all of those reasons, the Commonwealth would submit the administration of justice and the witnesses being able to testify, as well as the witnesses' own concerns are more than meet the test of the substantial reason for Mr. Kearney's exclusion during the course of their testimony.
Okay. Mr. Bradel?
Your Honor, the witness's concern has no legal materiality under the law. So the answer that I have is, so what? The witness's concern, where does that fit into the law here, Your Honor? This matter's been adjudicated twice. Mr. Kearney has the right to speak on the case. He's gone through all the proper channels to be here. He is not in any way wants to or is trying to make any issue of his presence here. And he's just trying to cover the case as best he can. And this is just a personal vendetta that's been carried out by the Norfolk County DA's office against Mr. Kearney. And, you know, this is where the court needs to hold the line on the First Amendment. You know, this witness intimidation statute, Your Honor, is an absolute abomination. It is going to be struck down. It's just a matter of time. And this is just a continuation of everything the special counsel's been doing to Mr. Kearney. Now the office itself is doing it. There's no reason for this motion to be allowed, Your Honor. There's no discomfort exception to the First Amendment, Your Honor. There's been absolutely nothing advanced, especially on an emergency basis, which is, I assume, why this is being done with no notice. There's been no establishment of any emergency. There's been no conduct whatsoever on the part of Mr. Kearney to justify this motion. And I did happen to see some reference to the Chesna trial about published something to the effect of doxing a seated juror. That is false. Mr. Kearney wrote a story on a juror after the jury was discharged. There's absolutely no prohibition or problem or issue with that. And it is absolutely protected conduct by the First Amendment. And it is not in any way a grounds for this court or the Commonwealth to assert any wrongdoing against him.
So I can assure you I am not considering that incident in this. You all know I was the judge. I am not considering that experience in this motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further, Mr.
Nothing
Bradel?
further. Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Bradel, I agree with you that Mr. Kearney is certified by the Office of Public Information pursuant to SJC Rule 119, and that he has a right to be here today. He arrived timely, and that he is registered. I have honored that 119 registration today, and I will continue to honor that. However, my role in this case, Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, is to assure that the defendant's constitutional right to a fair trial are honored and upheld. And because of the chilling effect that Mr. Kearney's presence, I find, will have on the witness's testimony, I'm going to excuse him while the named witnesses in the Commonwealth's motion, Julie Nagel, Christopher Albert, Colin Albert, Michael Proctor, Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, Brian Albert,
and Yuri Buchanan. And the Commonwealth also today requested Nicole Albert because of the incidents that reportedly have been held at her home. I'm going to excuse him during all of that testimony. Now, in my media order, if you have it, I'm sure your client has it because they're handed out to the press. Under number 1, I say that anyone leaving the courtroom to the media during the trial proceedings may lose their seat and may not be permitted re-entry unless there is available seating. That will not happen to Mr. Kearney. I will not take away his seat today. For other witnesses who are not subject to this order, that seat will remain empty. No other person of the media will be able to take that seat in his absence. Okay?
Your Honor, one last thing, if I may, just came to me as I was standing here. Extension in same regard as to Nicole Albert for the address would be Brian Albert Jr., son of Brian and Nicole Albert, lives
All
at the
right.
same address.
It's for the same reason. So Brian Albert Jr. All right. So those are my findings, Mr. Bradel. It should give you enough to seek appellate action if you wish. Okay. All right. Thank you for being here. All right. All right. So.
Well, that was halfway decent of her.
Okay, I'm trying, they said Associated Press, right?
Yes, Associated Press.
I wanted to see what Commonwealth put out there.
And we got to look up Michael Proctor.
Shoot. Michael Proctor. Whoa. Michael Proctor. There we go. All right. Lead investigator. Here we go. Oops. Let's get us over here. All right. All right. Lead investigator in death of, no, this ain't it. Is it? Yeah, it is. Hold on. Okay. Internal investigation has been opened into Proctor's possible violation of department policy. Well, yeah, he did. Do you know what he looks like? I'll show you a picture. Let's look at him. Okay, let's go here real quick. Shoot. It's got to be something funny. All right. Oops. Sorry. We're going to look here real quick. Canton cover up. Part 17. Here is Proctor, which he is friends with Alberts. He's Massachusetts State Police. What's this? I don't know what that is. Okay, these ads are getting pretty crazy. Okay. Marianne. Oh no! Oh my God! Look at what Turtle Boy's doing here. Oh my God!
That is so cute.
What a nut! So yeah, there's that, and that's pretty much all I wanted to share on this for now. And Monday's going to be awesome. Oh my God! I got an appointment on Monday. Shoot. I can't remember what time. Let me look at my phone. Where is it? Okay, good. My appointment is at 1:45 tomorrow, so good. Good. All right. So that'll be it for this live.
All right, dear. Glad I could assist you.
Oh, of course, you're my reader for me. You're my reader. Oh my God. Someone at my door? No, Nala. My dad's gonna piss me off. You know what he does? And he's got to quit that shit. You know
What?
what? Nala loves my dad, right?
Yeah.
He thinks he's got stuff that comes from me in the mail, like if it's a package. He puts it in front of my door, but he makes sure he knocks. Motherfucker. Oop. Oops.
Oops, did you say the right thing?
No!
Oh, God, she sounds like Otis.
No,
Only a girl version.
I'm going to go out there and yell at my dad. That's what I'm going to do, doing that shit on purpose. Sorry, guys. My dad's being a pain in the ass. And this is how we are, so don't think I'm being mean. You should hear what he says to me.
Oh, I've heard some of the things. Yeah, not good.
Yeah, it's not nice.
No.
It's not nice. All right, Grandma. Thank you for everything. Thank you for
You're
everybody.
welcome.
Thank you, Mark. And so there's that.
So there's that.
All right.
You have a good one, honey.
Okay, I love you.